the idea of chart paper being revolutionized. Like I know a lot of our districts using Lucy Calkins, and I like Lucy curriculum, but oh my god, I have I'm the worst handwriting in the world. And so Ben mentioned it in his post, like the ability to not have my handwriting look terrible to create those chart papers, but also having my kids be able to interact with the chart paper, add their own ideas to the chart paper.
Because you run out of wall space.
Yeah.
We need to go back to those.
Yeah, I think about the sort of digital anchor chart, and like where does that go when the vast majority of your resources are digital? And so if you can have those anchor charts as you are going through, you can actually sort of over time build up this library of things that kids can keep on coming back to.
Rather than what my principal used to have, was hanging it from the walls and then taking it down when the fire marshal came.
That's exactly right. And so it becomes something that that the kids see as so Jamboards and jams are going to be ushered into Google Drive as well, so that they can be directly shared in the same interface as all of the other things. And so it's going to make it so that it becomes, oh, you want to whiteboard something with me? Let's hop on a Jamboard, let's collaborate for a minute, and then we can share it with other folks, afterwards.
I think it's pretty exciting for like planning with a teacher. Sometimes, instead of having a time to meet with them, or even as a collaborative group, they're planning something, to be able to sit. It would be a little uncomfortable at first to see everything showing up on there, but just like Google Docs, you get really, really comfortable with it.
Kind of fun was like that scavenger hunt idea. I think about like math lessons where you hunt for geometry shapes. Like it'd be fun to kids go out on their devices, take pictures of the shapes, add them into the Jamboard, compare and contrast, sort them.
Symmetry, patterns.
I was thinking also. Like for coding, as kids are learning how to code and stuff, they could have.
They could even take a picture of their work. And you could troubleshoot it with each other.
On the idea of essentially anything being annotatable, right? Like I take a picture, I can write on it. I, add a file, I can write on it. And it shifts the way that I think about the more visual medium, because I feel like up until this point, Google Docs and collaboration tools have very much been like, we're talking about text.
Yes.
Right? Like that is the mode that we are in. But when you start thinking about, all right, well, it can be pictures, it can be sticky notes, it can be all of these more sort of spatial things, then I think kids get into it in a way that like, imagine the idea of having a board that we all have access to from wherever we are, right? Like we write things on the board to remember them. We write things, but like to have access to that from anywhere, it changes the way in which you might take notes or the way in which you might plot something out.
When you say the word access, I also think about the equity standpoint too. Like, text can be really difficult for kids to get, but they can. Any kid can take a picture.
Yeah,
any kid can draw a shape.
And the AutoDraw, right? Like any kid can draw something really good.
Yeah. So I think that also lowers the floor for entering the project and go as high as you want with text or whatever too.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. Well, thanks for hanging out. I'm super excited that we were able to share a little bit of Jamboard. I am noticing that we did have a couple of technical issues that I think the stream stopped maybe halfway through, and that's why it kicked you out of the chat. So I may go forward and do a shorter version of this. Just so that we have the archive of it for folks. But thanks for hanging out on our inaugural session.